Hi, everybody. Welcome aboard. I'm Terry Miners. Great to see you. Another delightful accomplishment is about to be celebrated here in Louisville. When you make it to the Hometown Heroes banner level, life cannot get any sweeter. Let's all holler out Sue's name right now. Sue Grafton! We are excited about this. There are so many people to thank. We're going to just have a couple people come up and say hello to us. Sue, but a shout out for a couple people too. First off, Steve Humphrey, the greatest husband in the whole wide world, is here tonight. Sue's. Also, Sue's classmates from Atherton High School, class of 19, are here. Atherton High School, are you here today? And thanks to and UPS is making the show today too. UPS, all right, good. Thanks to the folks at the Louisville Free Public Library and friends of the library who've attended here as well. We're going to tell you a little bit more about a book drive coming up in just a few minutes. Mary Pat Hartman, thank you, from White Lodging, who's here. There, she's over here too. This is their building. We appreciate the opportunity to get that space. And one of the people who works on getting the space for these things, you know that there are banners all around this community. Today's is the 27th. A guy named Mike Sheehy works awfully hard on that, and he's with us today too, somewhere in our crowd. Mike Sheehy, thank you, sir, for his Hometown Heroes and the Pride Foundation that put all this together. And a special hello to Sue's literary agent, Molly Friedrich of the Friedrich Agency, who is here today. Hello, Molly. Welcome to Louisville. You too, Ivan Held, president and publisher of Putnam, Dutton, and Berkeley. Hello, Ivan. They're very excited about this. But thanks again, though. This is kind of a fun thing when your friends come in from out of town and they like to see what's going on in our city, and there's so many great things to visit. And they just sort of happen to notice, hey, wait a minute, she's from here, he's from here, that happened here. It's pretty cool that your life can be chronicled in a perfect photograph or an image that goes on a building that could be there for 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, we don't know how many years, but decades rolling down the road. It's really a great, great honor. All right, our first presenter here today is a guy who's an entrepreneur and one of the dearest friends of Steve and Sue. His name is also Steve, and his last name is Bass. Steve Bass.
Thanks, Terry. First of all, you all hope you have the opportunity to say hello to Sue. I know a lot of you already have. It was an easy accomplishment to get this done. It first happened when I met with Mike Sheehy, who is also at Outfront Outdoor. He's the president of this Pride campaign that started in 2001. And we've talked about Sue, and he goes, oh yeah, we'd love to get Sue on a building. So I said, well, how do we go about doing it? So then I got Terry Miners involved, and then it sort of evolved. We contacted some friends because we wanted the friends to get behind them. We could have raised the money and just do it on ourselves, but we wanted the friends to be a part of it. And so people have stepped up, and I really want to acknowledge these people. It's Mary and Terry Miners, Bill and Susan Yarmouth, I know they're here today. Kent and Kathy Euler, they could not be here. Sarah Steinbach's here, her husband, Dr. Steinbach. Kevin Grangier from Lemieux, he also helped out. David and Marlene Grissom, Henry and Sharon Potter, and Mark Camposano and his wife's here today, Lindsay Miller. And all these people helped out making this happen. But we really, is a team effort. And what's great about Louisville is acknowledging a success and letting people share in that success. And that's what's been the most fun about getting to know Sue over all these years, is she's such a pleasant, extraordinary woman. And her husband is a character, and certainly been fun getting to know him also. But we should be very fortunate, all of us, to understand that Sue's a special lady, and we're lucky to be able to honor her this way. So I'll give it back to you. Thank you all for coming. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Stephen. I understand our mayor's a little under the weather today, but the guy who's really running the mayor's office most of the time, he won't take credit for that, but it takes a whole lot of people, obviously, that do a great job in the executive offices for our city. And there's no one stronger that keeps this city rolling every day than Chris Pointer. Chris?
Thanks, Terry.
All right, buddy.
Sue, F is for flu, and that's what the mayor's got, so it's why he can't be here today. But you know, we all know that Sue has a world-class imagination. It's what's earned her millions of fans around the world. And it's her wild and wonderful imagination that is creative, the great detective, and the books. A is for alibi, B is for burglar, C is for corpse. I think you're now on Y. Why? But I bet that even Sue couldn't have imagined a day like today. Certainly not when she was a student at Atherton or when she was studying English Lit at the University of Louisville. And she probably couldn't have even imagined this day when she was working as a clerk, a cashier, and a medical secretary. You've had an interesting career. She probably couldn't have imagined because she was too busy imagining the characters, the plots, and the stories, honing the craft that would allow her to become what all those of us really want to be deep down in our heart, a successful full-time writer. And it shouldn't be surprising that we want to honor Sue today for these accomplishments, because as a city we embrace innovation, we embrace creativity, we embrace risk-taking. And it's critical that we celebrate our writers who inspire our imaginations by creating compelling worlds, compelling characters, and stories, which you certainly have for millions of people around the world. So we're grateful for the books that you've written and that you've kept millions of us up way past our bedtimes reading your novels. We're also grateful that you decided to come home a few years ago and to share your wonderful gardens and your husband Steve with our community and to show your affection for your hometown. We're also proud today to unveil the hometown banner. She now joins Jennifer Lawrence, Ed Hamilton, Wendy Whalen. I think you say your career is now capped today after this moment. So thanks for everything you do. Also thanks to the Louisville Free Public Library and Springhill Suites, which is doing a book drive. And it just goes to show that, Sue, this is the important moment. L is for Louisville, and L is for love, and we love you as a city. So come on up here for this proc. So this is from the mayor. Know that Sue Grafton, we honor her on the unveiling of her Hometown Hero banner. A member of our city's great literary tradition, she has brought pride to her hometown for her famous, engaging detective novels. But it's no mystery why her creative brilliance would bring such a worthy honor. I've got some really good writers in my office, as you can tell. A proud city congratulates Sue and honors you on this day. Thanks a lot.
Oh, right.
Terrific. Ladies and gentlemen, please give our hometown hero a rousing welcome. Here is Sue Grafton.
Thank you. In between heavy trucks and sirens, I will make whatever remarks I can. It has been a long, convoluted journey from my growing up here in Louisville to coming back again. I'll have to be honest about this. When I left for California, I was thinking, thank you, Lord Jesus, I'm over the state line. Because I understood that in order to grow up and claim my independence, I was going to have to go somewhere else. So I was in California for 30 years. And then in 1993, I was honored as one of the alumni from U of L. Apparently, nobody got the notice about what a mediocre student I was. So I decided to keep my mouth shut. The weekend we were here for that event, we were at a luncheon, and what amazed me was that people at the table talked about Louisville and how to make it better. And I was so impressed because in California, especially in Hollywood, at luncheons, you talk about your psychic nutritionist and your high colonics. So that Louisville citizens were concerned with the city was a great compliment, I thought. That weekend, since real estate is so reasonable, we went out and bought a house. And that's when we came back, 1993. Then in the year 2000, we renewed our vows to Louisville by buying the old Belknap estate. And that is heaven on earth. You're welcome to come up. We won't send the dogs on you, I hope. Oh, yeah. We're now Kentucky residents, so I'm paying taxes along with y'all.
Yay!
During the many years I was gone, I started this series of alphabet novels, two of which Kinsey Milhone comes to Louisville. One is Ellis for Lawless. So I had to come back and do some research. There's a cemetery at the end of Ellis for Lawless. And so I did my research. I went to Cave Hill Cemetery and said, do you mind if I use this in my book? The woman said, absolutely not. She absolutely refused to let me use Cave Hill. So I had to invent a cemetery that I'll call 12 Oaks. I put it way out in Oldham County because I didn't want her to think my dead people were poaching on hers. Also, at the end of O is for Outlaw, she comes to Louisville to do some research. I'm going to tell you a secret about O. 3 people in the entire United States of America got this. I lifted the plot line for O from Macbeth, and somebody finally picked up on it. One of the guys is Mark Bethel, his wife Laddie. There are witches. It's once you understand where the plot line came from. I'm hoping Shakespeare's attorney is not here because I flat out stole it. Oh, the reason they wouldn't let me use Cave Hill is because Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil had come out. And the gal at Cave Hill heard that cemetery in Beaumont, South Carolina was overrun with tourists. I think we could use some tourists in our cemetery. Now, I'm going to thank some of the same people everybody else is thanked. First of all, Steve Bass and Terry Miners. These guys flat get things done. Do not ever go up against them. You will be so sorry.
It's true.
Yeah, I know it's true. I also want to thank Mary Pat Hartman, who is the Regional Director of Operations for the Marriott, and Trent Peterson, who's Vice President of Asset Management. If they hadn't cooperated, I might be up on the bus station instead of this fine hotel. This is the first time I've ever been hung in effigy. I also want to thank Mike Sheehy of Outfront Media, whose mother, more importantly, is a classmate of mine from Atherton. I'm also grateful to Jeannie Hild in Red and to Rebecca Matheny from downtown Louisville, who organized all of this. And Molly Friedrich and Ivan Held, she got in at 12:30 last night, and she's so gracious she didn't make us pick her up at the airport. Among the personal friends of mine who have made contributions, and I'm doing this in alphabetical order, please notice, Stephen Terry Bass, Mark Composano and Lindsay Miller, Kevin Granger, David and Marlene Grissom, Kent and Kathy Euler, Henry and Sharon Potter, Ted and Sarah Steinbach, and Bill and Susan Yarmouth. The important thing about this occasion is that I finally managed to impress my 13-year-old granddaughter, who said, my Nana's going to be up on a building with Jennifer Lawrence. Thank you so much. I appreciate this. It is an amazing event. Growing up, I never thought to myself, oh, I do hope I end up on the side of a building somewhere. Thank you so much.
Yay, Sue!
Can't even pick this. Oh, there we go.
We're so glad that you are back in our city. And obviously, you guys have been here many years now, and we're just glad to have you home. Thanks so much, and you're always going to be home now, whether or not you guys are traveling. Okay, folks, little note here. We are going to, for a couple of minutes, block traffic on Brook Street. That's the one on this end, so you can get photo ops out there, too. So that's coming up in a few minutes. Thank you, Jeannie Hilton. Thanks, Chris Pointer from the city. They'll be able to do that just so we can go out, walk out, and get a little distance from the building and get a shot there with Sue's poster. While
The exit's still going to be open, though, just Brook Street's the only one.
yeah, Brook Street, that's right. Traffic's still going to be coming off there, so be careful when you step out. We're just going to do it in a couple minutes. Also, hello, did we not say hello to Terry Bass? Yeah, we did. Somebody said, I saw Terry Bass somewhere there today, too. There she is. Hi, Terry Bass. And my wife, Mary, too. We are happy to be part of this project as well. I know she's on her way from the doctor's appointment. All right. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks so much for helping this Pride Foundation and the Hometown Heroes and Mike Sheehy and those guys. And the next time, we don't know who it'll be, but we appreciate all your support. And thanks to the city of Louisville for accommodating us. Have a great day, everybody. And congratulations, Sue.
This has been a Metro TV production, a public service of Louisville Metro government.